Cricketers, and welcome to Cricketing with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda. And in today's tutorial, I will be showing you my process for making a mug with the Cricut Mug Press. This is my finished product and I'm in love with it, even though this is not the design that I intended. I started out this process thinking that I wanted a full mug wrap design, and I had it all worked out in my head, and I even had it all worked out in Design Space. So you'll be able to see, follow along and see how I get to this. But just know that this was not the original design. It wasn't the intended plan. I am wearing my Rockets gear. I am standing at the table where I do my mug presses. I wanted you to see all of this infusible ink that I purchased for less than $3 because Cricut decided to remove the word joy from those infusible ink boxes, and when they did that, they discontinued this line. And when they removed the joy from the box, they put it right in my heart. So I'll take it. For this project, you will need, of course, I used Cricut mugs, but you can use sublimation mugs, I'm told. I haven't tried to do that. You'll need a green standard mat. I use my Cricut mug press. If you have a mug press of a different brand, you might be able to, I'm sure you'll be able to do it. I use my Cricut heat press. I also needed to use infusible ink. I used 2 different colors to create a layered design, and it almost became hammer time. I'm glad that it didn't. I needed to use heat resistant tape. In the video, I called it heat transfer tape, so I just made up a name. Okay, I also used my Cricut knife, and I use my pen weeding tool. So those are all of the things. And I cut this. I had this cut from my Cricut Maker, and that is just about it. I used the design that I uploaded from some SVGs that I purchased from Design Bundles. If you are in my Facebook group, of course, I don't mind sharing those with the members of my group. If you have any questions, I interact there the most. Don't forget to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and let's head on over to Cricut Design Space. Okay, I am in Cricut Design Space, and the first thing that I'll do is click on Projects, and then I'm not sure at what day or time you're watching this, but at the time this video is being made, it is close to the 4th of July in 2021. So the first thing I'll do is type in mug, and the options for making one of the mugs within Cricut Design Space will show up. You have this one right here, which is called Mug Design Setup as an option. There's also another, and I know that this one is free, even though these have these A's here for Cricut Access members. There's also another design that I know for sure is free, and that is the one that just says your design here. I think I will use that one when I get ready to use my infusible ink pens. But for today's tutorial, I will use the mug design setup here. And I'm using a 12-ounce mug, and I want to do I'm going to do a scalloped edge. No, I want to use a wavy edge. So I'll do a small wavy edge, and I will customize it. Okay. Right now my view is set to 100%. So when it comes in like this. What you'll notice is this red piece right here that has these 3 different mugs. This left one that I'm hovering over is if the front of your mug with the handle is facing to the left. This is with the handle facing directly in front of you, and then this is with the handle facing to the right. Okay, that just helps you with placement of your design. And then this is what the mug wrap looks like if you're using a full wrap on your mug. And then this outer piece is what this represents, the adhesive part of the infusible ink. So I'm going to upload the design that I plan to use. I want to use this one. It says mind your own beeswax, and I know that might be kind of funny because typically when you're making a mug, you want something that has some a message that has something to do with coffee, but I just liked it, so I decided that this is the one I want to use. And I know that I want my colors to look exactly like this. Okay, but I'm going to choose this one for this tutorial. and I will change it up as I need to. Okay, it looks like it selected 2 designs for me, and I did not want it to do that. Let me just go one more time and insert this one. Okay, and it does come in big, and that's okay. So I will minimize the view on my canvas, and I will start to work with this. Okay, so I know that I want Mind and Beeswax to both be in the gold color. But the first thing that I'll need to do is get it set up on my mug. Okay, just the sizing. Let me make this a little bit bigger. I'll put it at 75%. Okay. If this is where I like it right there, and so I would duplicate that after I get it the way that I want it. Now I do know that I want this. Let me first ungroup this, and I know I want the word Mind to be in gold. Okay, and I know that I want Beeswax to also be in gold. Okay, and I want it to be, I think there's a piece of the bee. Oh Lord, I'm kind of nervous about how that's going to cut, but I want to give it a try. Okay, I want that to be in gold also. Okay, and then another thing that I know that I'll need to do is attach those layers. Okay, so all of my gold layers will be attached, and all of my black layers will be attached. Now, when you're using the Infusible ink, you do have options. You can, attach the whole thing, or you can use the slice tool. I am choosing to attach my layers, and I'll go from there. Okay, so I know that Mind and the squiggly lines and Beeswax, I want all of those to be attached, and then the rest of this, I'm just going to hold my shift key. Okay, I want that to be attached. Okay, so now I can select the whole thing, and I can group it back together, so when I start to move it over, it stays together when it's moved. Okay, and then the next thing that I know I want to do is I want to duplicate it, because I want the same design to go on the other side of the mug. Okay, and I like it just like that. Now I have not found a way. Let me make sure that all of these, make sure that this whole thing, so I'm going to hide this red, this guideline just for a second, because I don't need it. Eventually I'm not going to need it at all. So I am going to select this whole thing, and I am going to center it vertically to make sure that they are even here. And then I will group this. Now, this is the way that works for me, and so that's what I am choosing to do. I am going to duplicate this whole thing, okay, so that I know that I have, both images the exact way that I want them. What I am going to do now is, on this top panel, I am going to hide the gold layers, and on the bottom panel I'm going to hide the black layers, and that way I know that they will cut out in the exact same spot, so that when I get ready to layer them, I won't have to wonder about, is this right, and I will be able to move my images the way that I need to. Okay, so I'm on the bottom layer, and with this one, let me go ahead and start to hide. I'm just going to click the eye, okay, and that will help me just hide everything that's gold from the top. Okay, and I want that to be just like that, and I can attach that. Okay, and then here I'm going to hide everything that is black. Okay, and I'm sure there is another way to do this, but this is the way that just made sense to me, and this is the way that worked for me. And I do not proclaim to be an expert on any of it, but this is what works for me. Okay, and I will select this, and I will also attach it. So I know that when I get ready to click make it, this is the only piece that actually needs that layer, because this will have the Infusible Ink wrap, the full wrap, and this will have the wavy layer. This won't have the wavy layer in it, and I don't need it to. So I don't need the markers, and I don't need this template either. So I will go ahead and hide the template for this part, okay? And I can attach these though to keep them in the exact same spot that I want them to be in. And now I can go ahead and click make it. So my yellow layer is here, and I know that I can go ahead and get my Infusible Ink ready. And I have it's blue here, but it's really going to be black. I'm using the Infusible Ink that I found on sale for $1.99 at Hobby Lobby. I don't think it's on sale anymore, because you know what? When they took the joy from the box, they put it right in my heart, and I will take it. So I will go ahead and get my mats loaded. With Infusible Ink, you have to remember, because you're using a heat source, you have to remember to mirror your image. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click mirror here, and I'm going to go back, and I'm also going to click mirror here, and I will click continue. This is connected to my Cricut Maker, and I will click on browse all materials, because Infusible Ink is not one of my favorites already. I just typed in Infu. And I'm going to select Infusible Ink transfer sheet. Okay, it reminds me, make sure mirror is turned on and material is inked side up. So I will go ahead and get my mats loaded and get my designs cut out. Okay, prior to me getting my mat ready, I need to clean my mug. So like I said before, I'm using one of the Cricut Mugs, the 12-ounce mug, and I need to clean it first with alcohol. So I'll just take HEB's finest. I'll take a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and I will dab it on a paper towel. And once that dries, it dries very quickly. Then I will take my lint roller. Somebody I know loves these. And I will just kind of go around the mug. Let me just dry it off just to make sure it's completely dry. Now my mug is prepared, it's clean. When you get the Infusible Ink and you open the box, you will notice that it is in this black plastic bag that looks like this. When you take out the piece that you need, it's important to just take out what you need, make sure that your hands are clean, and that you put the Infusible Ink back into the plastic before you store it away. So I will prepare my mats and prepare my mugs to be printed and infused. Okay, I've decided that I don't want to do a full wrap. I am going to cut my design here, and cut it here, and then the mug will just have you know, one image on this side. So I'll do all of that in a time lapse, and I'll also do the finger the weeding with my hands, and hopefully I've gotten a little bit better at it by now. Okay, I have my design on the mug, and I am going to add some of this heat transfer tape, some of this heat tape. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's called, I'm just gonna call it heat tape for now. It almost turned into hammer time, okay? If you follow me for any moment, you already know what hammer time is. And this almost turned into hammer time. So while I wanted this to be a full wrap, that didn't happen. It didn't happen. This is my first time using a design like this. I said that the first time, but for real this time, because this has two colors. The first part of the mug, it looks good here, but I'm afraid of what this will look like when I try to put it on the mug, so I am not going to even test it. I don't want to I'm not going to do it. So I will get this one taped, and I will get it put in my mug press. I'll show you what that process is like. I have my heat press mat, I have my Cricut Easy Press, and I have my mug. It is taped and is ready. I am currently waiting for it to reach the desired temperature. The light at the top is still red, and when it turns green at the top and it beeps, I'll know that it's okay for me to put my mug in. The only piece of advice I would give you for this portion is that when you put your mug in, to make sure that it is touching all sides of the heat press, and so that you get a good clean infused look. Okay, so we'll see. Let's let it heat up. Okay, it beat. The light is green, so I'm going to put my mug in at a little bit of an angle, tilt just a little, and I keep my handle a little bit over to the side, and I'm going to close it. Okay, and I will know that it's finished once it beeps. I'll take the mug out and I'll put it back on my heat press mat, because I know that the mug itself will be hot, the handle will not be hot. Okay, I'm hearing the beep. There it is. I will open it and I will carefully remove it. Now, I'm not going to put on an oven mitt for this. And it looks like the color is not vibrant, but trust me, after it cools down completely and I remove the transfer sheet, you will see just how vibrant the color is. So I'll leave it here. It takes approximately 10 to 15 minutes. I'll let it cool down completely before I start to remove any of that paper. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes and the mug is, it's not cool, but it's not hot. So I think it's safe for me to remove the tape. Cross your fingers, your toes, and your eyes. And let's hope this came out nice. There it is. I love it. It was worth it. Don't mind me, I'm fake drinking again, just like I did last time. So hopefully you see that, I make mistakes all the time. If you are new to joining me at Cricketing with Delonda, I have said it before and I'll say it again, perfection is overrated. I am not afraid to show you the mistakes I make because I don't want you to think that your design has to be perfect or your project has to be perfect. It always starts out perfect in your mind. Mine does for sure, but it doesn't always end that way, and it's okay when it doesn't. I do have a Facebook group. On Facebook, my group is called Cricut Crafting with Delonda. We are right at about over 800 members right now. One thing I will say about that group is I love that group and every single member in there. I love them with all of my heart. They know I do. I tell them all the time. It's a safe space for beginners to share work. It's a safe space for beginners to ask questions. It is a safe space for us to interact with one another. I interact there the most. I do have an Instagram account also. It's called Cricketing with Delonda. I do not interact on Instagram as much as I could or should because a lot of my energy is spent with my Facebook group. If you are considering joining us over there, make sure you answer the questions that are to make sure that you understand how we operate. We don't do sales, we don't do dumps, we don't do requests for SVGs. We share work, we ask questions, we encourage one another, and it is and it always will be a safe space. I have moderators who are fantastic and they are so supportive and they will help every single member in that group who has a question. So just if you're considering joining us, make sure you've answered the questions and you know how we operate. Once again, thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the down there in the comment section and I will get back to you. The way I show love is by uploading the tutorials every week. The way you can show me love is by liking and subscribing. Thanks so much for joining me today and thanks for watching. Bye.